There's a silent mechanism shaping your life. And it's not your actions, not your habits, not even your beliefs. It's the vibration you broadcast, moment by moment, whether you're aware of it or not. Most people think they need to do something massive to change their reality, but in truth, reality doesn't respond to what you do, it responds to what you are being. Imagine for a moment that your entire life is being sculpted by a frequency, like a radio station, and whatever you're tuned into becomes the music, the people, the situations that show up. It's not metaphor, it's quantum mechanics. In the quantum field, particles don't exist in fixed positions until observed, and the way you observe, the emotion you carry, the signal you radiate, determines how that field collapses into your lived experience. This means you're not just moving through life, you're programming it, energetically selecting from a menu of infinite versions of you. And here's the twist. The universe isn't giving you what you want, it's giving you what your frequency says is real. In this video, you're going to discover how to consciously broadcast energy from your nervous system and emotional field, and how that signal bends timelines. This isn't motivation, this is mechanics. By the end, you'll not only understand the physics of vibration, but how to shift yours in real time to collapse a new version of reality. So if you've been trying to manifest but keep ending up in the same loop, stay with me, because the field is listening, and you're about to remember how to speak its language. Most people think reality is something that happens to them, a fixed external movie playing out scene by scene. But what if I told you the movie is actually reacting to you, to your attention, your emotion, your inner coherence? Every moment you're not just watching life, you're editing the script. And the tool you're using isn't your willpower or your goals, it's your frequency. This is where things get wild. In the quantum field, nothing is fixed. Everything exists as probability, pure potential, until your observation, your energetic signature, collapses it into form. That means your reality is being sculpted not by what you wish for, but by what you consistently feel. And here's the paradox. If you feel doubt even while saying affirmations, the field collapses the doubt. If you visualize abundance while your nervous system is vibrating in lack, the signal is incoherent, and the quantum doesn't respond to confusion. It responds to clarity. The good news? You can shift this instantly. You can tune your signal like a laser, sharp, clean, intentional, and when you do, the field bends. Not slowly, immediately, because the quantum field isn't bound by time the way we think. What feels like delay is often just distortion. Subscriptor contem is masticieter that fact this is from realery. Your energy says one thing, your words say another. And so, the field holds the mirror, not to your hopes, but to your vibration. But the moment everything aligns, your thoughts, your feelings, your body, the mirror changes. Timelines collapse. People call it magic, but it's not magic. It's physics. And if you're still watching, it's because something in you already knows this. You felt it. Those moments of flow, of synchronicity, of effortless creation. That's not luck. That's what happens when you accidentally tune into the right signal. Now imagine doing it on purpose. That's what this video will show you. How to stabilize that frequency, broadcast it with precision, and turn your life into a conscious act of quantum design. So let's get even more precise. Your body, yes, your actual physical body, is an electromagnetic broadcasting system. Your brain sends signals. Your heart amplifies them. And together, they generate a measurable field of energy that radiates several feet beyond you. But here's the kicker. This field doesn't just sit there. It interacts with the quantum matrix all around you. It's not poetry. It's peer-reviewed physics. The HeartMath Institute proved that your heart's electromagnetic field is 5,000 times more powerful than your brain's. That means what you feel, not what you think, is doing the heavy lifting and shaping your life. So every time you spiral into stress, guilt, or fear, your body broadcasts that signal. And the field, ever faithful, reflects back a version of reality that validates it. This is why you can't fake vibration. You can say, I'm abundant all day. But if your body's in survival mode, bracing for loss, your signal says, I don't believe this. And the quantum field responds as you wish. But now you understand something deeper. You're not at the mercy of these patterns. You can reprogram them. How? By becoming coherent. When your thoughts match your emotions, and your emotions are aligned with your vision, your field becomes ordered, clean, magnetic. That coherence doesn't just feel better, it bends probability. This is why manifestations appear out of nowhere when people align. Not because something new was created, but because they finally became a match for what was already waiting in the field. You see, reality isn't chasing you. It's listening for the version of you that's ready. So here's the invitation. Stop speaking from the old frequency. Stop broadcasting from wounds, from lack, from fear. Instead, start syncing your signal with the version of you who already lives the life you've been trying to create. They exist. They're real. And the moment you broadcast their frequency, you collapse their timeline. This is where most people miss the mark. They consume teachings, they memorize affirmations, they chase strategies, but they forget the one thing that actually shifts timelines: embodiment. You don't collapse a new reality by thinking about it. You collapse it by being the version of you who already lives it, energetically, emotionally, behaviorally. It's not about pretending. It's about aligning your biology, your breath, your posture, your choices with the frequency of that future self. And here's the part no one tells you. That version of you is not in the distant future. They're here, in the quantum field, entangled with you right now, waiting for you to stop repeating the signal of survival and start broadcasting the signal of truth. Not belief, being, because the field doesn't speak English. It speaks vibration. So every time you say, I want abundance, but feel scarcity in your gut, your signal says, it's not here yet. But when you say nothing and simply feel the peace of already having it, your signal changes. That's the paradox. The more you try to get there, the more you confirm you're not there. But when you choose to be there first, the field catches up. Fast. Because energy moves faster than effort. So here's the deeper truth. Manifestation isn't something you do. It's something you allow by becoming a stable signal. That's why you're watching this. Not to learn another trick, but to remember what your nervous system already knows. You are the signal. And when that signal stabilizes, life stops resisting you. It starts rearranging itself around your coherence. That's the power you've always had. And this is the moment you reclaim it. Let's get practical. If everything you experience is responding to your broadcast, then mastering manifestation means mastering your signal, not just once during meditation, but moment by moment in real life. So here's the technique. We call it the frequency lock-in. Step 1, pause. Interrupt the loop. Anytime you feel stress, doubt, or fear rise up, don't analyze it. Just pause. Feel your breath. This disrupts the autopilot pattern that's been emitting a frequency from your past. Step 2, tune in. Ask, what frequency am I broadcasting right now? Not what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Are you in contraction or expansion? Are you broadcasting lack or presence? Get honest, without judgment. Step 3, shift the state. Close your eyes. Imagine the version of you who already lives the reality you desire. See them in vivid detail, but more importantly, feel their energy. Feel their posture, their breath, the lightness in their chest. Then ask, what would they be broadcasting right now? And hold that signal, even just for 60 seconds. This isn't imagination, it's entrainment. You're entraining your nervous system, your field, to a new baseline. And with repetition, that baseline becomes your default frequency. Do this several times a day, before meetings, after scrolling, before checking your bank account. Don't wait for triggers. Train your signal before the world asks for it. Because when you do, something wild happens. You stop reacting to reality and start reorganizing it. Your days feel different. People respond to you differently. Synchronicities multiply. Why? Because your field is no longer reflecting the old you. It's collapsing the version you've been aligning with, again and again. This is quantum training. And it's not just empowering, it's inevitable. The more consistent your broadcast, the more stable the timeline you receive. So try it today. Shift from being the observer of lack to the broadcaster of alignment. From now on, let your energy speak before you do. Here's where it gets even more powerful and more real. The quantum field doesn't separate you from your future. In fact, it may already be entangled with you. Science calls it non-local entanglement, when two particles become so connected that a change in one instantly affects the other, no matter how far apart they are, even light years away. And guess what? You are not exempt from that law. Your consciousness is not some isolated signal trapped inside your skull. It's a field, a non-local intelligent field, connected to every version of you across infinite timelines. That means the version of you who already lives in full alignment, wealthy, magnetic, purposeful, is not a distant dream. It's a real quantum possibility that's already tied to you, right now, waiting for you to tune into it. And when your current frequency stabilizes, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, the entangled signal strengthens. Your future self feels it, not metaphorically, literally, because in the quantum, time doesn't move forward. It folds, it sinks. So when you shift now, the effect ripples backward and forward simultaneously. That's why sometimes you feel déjà vu, sudden clarity, and emotional release with no cause. Those are timeline shifts, echoes from the future self trying to pull you in. But you have to meet that pull. You can't expect to collapse a powerful timeline if you're still broadcasting confusion. You have to become a clear receiver, calm, coherent, still enough to hold the transmission. Because the future isn't coming, it's broadcasting. And when your signal finally matches its frequency, reality doesn't just evolve, it jumps. That's why manifestation often feels instant after weeks of nothing, because coherence reached a threshold, the signal finally locked. So ask yourself now, not what do I want, but what version of me is already entangled with everything I desire? And the moment you feel that answer, hold it, because that's the signal that collapses timeline. But here's the part that stings and liberates. Most people don't fail to manifest because they're doing it wrong. They fail because their signal is split. They say they want abundance, but they check their bank account with fear. They affirm self-love, but critique their reflection. They visualize freedom, but walk through the day bracing for disappointment. This is the mismatch, the silent signal the quantum field listens to. Not your words, not your desires, your coherence. If your nervous system is still in survival mode, your signal says, "I'm not safe yet," and the field mirrors it faithfully. That's not punishment, it's precision. The field isn't emotional, it's mathematical. It doesn't reflect what you hope, it reflects what you are. This is why repeating affirmations without embodiment rarely works, because if your subconscious, the true observer, is still tuned to lack, that's the frequency you keep collapsing, every single day. And here's what's wild. Most of that programming isn't even yours. You inherited it from family, culture, past experiences that taught your body to expect disappointment before joy, scarcity before safety. That emotional residue is still running, shaping your thoughts, reactions, choices, and therefore your signal. Until you rewrite that, the quantum can only reflect the loop you never consented to, but have unknowingly continued. So here's your liberation. You are not broken. You're broadcasting from an outdated script. But now you know, and knowing breaks the spell. Because the moment you stop identifying with the old broadcast, you create space. And in quantum physics, space is power. Space allows new signals, new timelines, new coherence. You don't need to be fixed, you just need to be retuned. And in the next section, we'll walk into the practice that reprograms the very field you live in, from inside out. So let's go deeper, into the body. Because until your body trusts the new frequency, it won't hold. You might mentally understand abundance, but if your nervous system still flinches at bills, the old signal runs the show. That's why we shift from mindset to embodiment. Here's the practice. Start your day not by reaching for your phone, but by reaching for coherence. Before the world enters your field, you enter yourself. Sit in stillness. Drop the identity. No name, no story, no goals. Just breath. Just presence. Then, with eyes closed, imagine the version of you who already lives your dream life. See how they move. Feel their breath. What don't they worry about anymore? What do they naturally expect from life? Don't just watch them. Become them. Breathe as them. Sit as them. Observe your room from their perspective, and hold that frequency for just 3 minutes. Why 3? Because that's enough time to start entraining your field. Enough to begin rewriting your body's signature. This is not performance, it's quantum tuning. It doesn't need to be dramatic, it needs to be real. The key is consistency. The field doesn't shift because of intensity, it shifts because of stability. So you do this daily, not to force results, but to fuse identity, to shift the observer. Because when you observe life as the version of you who already has it, your brain rewires, your cells synchronize, your electromagnetic field aligns, and the field around you, it bends. Timelines collapse, synchronicities find you, not as miracles, but as physics responding to coherence. You've gone from desiring the new reality to broadcasting it. And when that broadcast becomes your baseline, nothing can stay the same. Because the version of life that matched the old signal, it no longer has anything to respond to. That's the power of vibrational recalibration. This is the truth that flips everything. Manifestation isn't about chasing what you want. It's about becoming the version of you that no longer has to chase. That version doesn't try to believe. They are belief, embodied. They don't visualize success while feeling like a fraud. They walk, breathe, speak from a baseline of knowing, not because the world gave them proof, but because they became the proof. This is the difference between hoping and collapsing. In the quantum field, the future isn't ahead of you. It's available now, vibrating at a frequency that's waiting for you to match it. And when your internal signal locks in, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions hum in harmony, the field doesn't need time. It just responds, instantly. That's the difference between praying for a miracle and becoming the condition that makes miracles inevitable. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be coherent more often than not. Even 51% coherence begins to shift your baseline, and your baseline controls your timeline. Most people think reality is slow, but that's only true when your frequency is unstable. The more consistent your signal, the faster the quantum collapses into form. And if you've ever wondered why things manifest all at once, it's because the field waits for you to stabilize, not wish harder. It's like tuning a radio. Static doesn't attract music, but once the dial clicks, the station floods in. So here's your moment of power. Stop trying to manifest a future version of you. Start tuning into the signal that future is already sending, because they're not far, they're near, they're here, waiting for you to broadcast one clear message: I'm ready now. And when that signal is stable, not perfect, but true, the field has no choice but to reflect it. Not as philosophy, as physics. So take a breath. Feel this moment, not as another piece of content, but as a checkpoint in your evolution. You didn't land here by accident. You were drawn here by resonance. Something in your field, your frequency, called this in. And now, you're not just listening, you're remembering. Remembering that you are not a passive observer of reality. You are the projector, the transmitter, the creative force behind the scenes. And the script you've been living? It was never fixed. It was just a loop, written by old frequency, reinforced by repetition. But loops don't survive clarity. And now you have clarity. Now you know that your thoughts are not just ideas, they're instructions. That your emotions aren't just moods, they're magnetic codes. That your body isn't just reacting, it's broadcasting. You are not here to beg the universe, you're here to speak its language, through frequency. So from today forward, you stop chasing, you stop proving, you stop performing for a field that's already listening. Instead, you stabilize, you embody, You become the tone of the reality you've always sensed. And the moment that becomes your base signal, life no longer resists. It aligns. This is not magic, it's mechanics. You are the vibration. You are the frequency. You are the new timeline unfolding in real time. And if that truth landed, if something inside you softened, stood taller, remembered, then mark this moment. Declare it. In the comments write, "I collapse timelines by vibration." Not as a phrase, as a frequency. Let it echo through the quantum, because when you declare from coherence, the field moves. And if you're ready to keep tuning, deepening, creating through resonance, you're invited to subscribe. Not for more content, for more calibration, because this isn't a channel, it's a frequency. And now, it's yours.